Hey guys, welcome to Hunkered Down with Seth. I have an amazing guest, and usually I say I have an amazing or a special guest. This guest, I'm not BSing, this guest is unbelievable. She is in three bands: Science of Deduction, Zuma Bella Trio, and the Mrs. Bill Larsons. She has been doing comedy for, I'm guessing, over 3 decades, ballpark around
Oh,
that. And
yep.
just one of the greatest, nicest people I've ever met in my life. I'm a huge fan of hers. I'll continue being a huge fan depending how this interview goes. Cathy Sorbo. Cathy, great to hear from you. How are you doing?
Hi, Seth. I'm going down.
Oh, it's good to hear. How's your quarantine been? You been doing well?
Yeah, it obviously is an adjustment, but I'm all about it. I'm embracing it.
What are some embracement tips that you could give our quintillions of listeners?
Well, I think get your house in order, literally and figuratively. I've been clearing out, mounds of shit from our garage and a hall closet, and just trying to scrape all that crap out.
All right. Really quick, that's a lot to do. What about those of us stuck in one bedroom apartments?
Well, you come over to my house and you clear out. I don't know. I mean, I guess if I was stuck in a one-bedroom apartment, that would be an entirely different thing. I have a tiny house, but a giant back garden, so that's helped tremendously.
Uh, the- that I can't think of a better description of you as tiny house, giant back garden.
That's me. Tiny house, giant back garden.
So, what's new? What's hip? I've been listening to your music. It's the greatest sound of all time, specifically Science of Deduction. But yeah, just fill me in.
Okay. Um, yeah, the science of deduction, we've been together maybe going on 5 years now, and we're all old. We're all like 50s, 60s, and we just do really fun, dancy, subversive, um, uh, keyboard and synth-oriented music, originals.
Uh, yeah, I guessed you're a huge Brian Eno fan the moment I heard your first song. So,
Oh, which one did you listen to?
you know, to be honest, I've literally just played in the background. It's in a big list, and there's a couple
You
of
didn't
them.
really.
No, I
You didn't
did.
really listen at all, did you, Seth? Come on, you can be honest. It's okay. It's
I,
okay.
I have listened to it. The name of the song escapes me.
That is the name of the song.
Boom, we did it.
um, yeah. So obviously, none of my bands have been able to get together to practice or make good on our gigs or any of that. The last gig I did was with the Zuma Bella Trio, March 6th.
Was that at Tim's Tavern?
No, that was at Daryl's Tavern.
Oh, yeah. Wait. There's so many taverns up in Shoreline. It gets really confusing.
Yes, in a good way.
Yeah. But then again, you stop at the first tavern, everything gets confusing after a couple beers. Um, yeah, I remember Daryl's. It was a fun. I've done comedy there a little bit, and yeah, it's there.
Daryl's is great because a lot of people don't know this, but the original owner, Ben, he was in the Navy and they got him hooked on figs. back in, World War II days, and he had a hell of a time getting off the tobacco. So when he opened up or got Daryl's, it was non-smoking since 1970.
Oh, wow.
So that's why it's still in like gorgeous, pristine, funky roadside tavern condition.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been destroyed by 40 years of tobacco.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ban went in like late, like I would say 2007, 2008 is when they started banning all the cigarette stuff in Seattle.
Yeah, it was around there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And also,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not good at talking over you.
I know. You're kind of breaking up a little bit, but that's okay. I was
Yeah.
going to say that the last show that I went to where cigs were allowed was at Neumos, and it was Echo and the Bunnymen.
Oh, wow.
And that show was it choked me out. I couldn't even stay. It was like so smoke laden. I just had to go.
Yeah. Our mutual friend Virginia Jones, I tried to convince her to call her album Apocalypse Like Sugar.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah,
That could be a good strip.
yeah,
But that could be a good stripper name too.
oh, definitely. And her argument was only a core audience would buy it, would get the pun. And I'm like, yeah, those are the people you want to buy your album.
Yeah, exactly. A specific targeted audience.
Yeah, Echo and the Bunnymen. I told her. She also drove Lyft and has a bunch of stories, and she's compiling her stories for a book. I'm telling her to call her book Lift Like Sugar.
That'd be good.
Yeah, there's so many goth puns that why didn't I go into that? I'm stuck here in the middle of Long Beach, California when I could have been making millions in goth puns and moved down to a better area of Long Beach, California.
Hey, it's never too late.
Nope. I mean, because when it comes to sadness, goth puns are the cure.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm keeping my sanity, Kathy.
That's good. Any way you can.
Yeah.
I
What?
don't know. I feel like I've been saner now than ever.
I mean, knowing you've been always sweet and wonderful, but you were always eclectic. I'll say that, and eclectic good, to me especially. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, but I mean, this quarantine, you really get to know the true you, and really, like you said before, you get rid of all the BS, and you just strip down to what's the core values of your, even getting rid of your stuff.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we just need to lighten the load, and I mean, who knows? Our landlord might say, "Okay, I'm selling the house. You need to leave," and we got to be ready to go.
Yeah, I've had that happen. I'm sure half the people who rent in Seattle have had that happen.
That'd be terrible. I mean, we're just, we're comfortable here. We wouldn't mind moving. I mean, I'd be, up for a change, but I don't want to be, like, forced to move when I'm not ready.
Yeah. Well, Montlake Terrace is a nice place. A lot of good people there. A lot of APOs live there as well.
Yeah, I'm still Seattle.
Yeah. Well, if you need a place to
But,
move.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we'd be looking up there probably first. North City, around there somewhere.
Yeah.
Who knows? Damn it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this.
Okay.
You have a wonderful daughter. Uh, how's the homeschooling going?
Well, she's 21.
Oh,
So, yeah.
you see, that just shows
I
how
know.
long it's been since I last saw you.
I always picture everybody's kids like 9 or 10.
And I know. Last time I saw Kermit's daughter in person, she was like 6 or 7, and she was like, it was at Folk Life, and Kermit was playing Hawaiian guitar, and she was doing the hula. Now, you know,
Uh-huh.
now she's, in the videos that they shoot, she's like 18, and it's like, how did that little girl get that big without me knowing?
It's so nuts.
Yeah.
It's, but my daughter is the editor of her college paper, so she's doing all her work and all her class stuff remotely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it just seems, they have their like weekly meetings, and everything's going very smoothly. I just love how, all these, oh, we need these in-person meetings. Oh, we got to meet up. Ooh, we got to, can you meet me at this coffee shop and we can go over? But no.
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 No. Although on the flip side of that, like my fiance, she's a computer programmer, and she'll get a text from her boss at like 8 or 9 p.m. to check something. It's like this quarantine made everybody who's got stuff to do on call.
Hmm. That's a good point. Yeah.
You know, on the
Yeah.
on the flip side, us non-essentials, nobody's calling.
I've felt that way for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I still do stand up, but I just don't really seek out the gigs. I just cannot, spend as much time as you need to get good. Yeah, I just don't have. I just can't commit to that kind of time. Whereas the band, is completely different. Completely different. And I was doing music before I did comedy. I got kind of sidelined into stand up from music. So I'm back into music. I love it. I have this new band, the Mrs. Bill Larsons. We do all like 60s girl pop.
Like Supremes and the
Yeah.
Gladys Knight. Well,
Supreme, Shangri-La's, Dusty Springfield, that kind of genre.
oh, that's awesome. And,
Yes, and I miss practicing and gigging, and we had a couple of really kind of great high-profile gigs that were on the books, and now what? They were talking about just today, hey, well, maybe we should get together for a backyard get-together, wear your mask, and I'm like, why?
yeah, I mean, how do you sing with the mask on also?
We don't have any gigs for the next several months. I'm really not that hard up. I don't have a hard on for human contact enough to do something like that isn't, really necessary.
No, it's not. It's who's gonna put your life in danger just so you could sing? It's ridiculous.
I know, and who only knows what's going to happen to the band scene and the stand-up scene and the nightclub scene? Are you going to want to pile yourself into a room with a bunch of people? No.
Nope. No, and
How do you drink? How do you drink through a mask? Huh?
you don't. And how do you do a shot and entertain a bachelorette party? It's like, it's one of those weird things. It's like, what happens after the asteroid hits? What's the plan?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's just so mysterious. We don't have an end game. We know very little about what is happening. It's a mystery, so just fucking chill.
Yeah.
Figure it out. I had to tell my landlord, she lives in California, she was kind of, the rent's still on the bus. I'm like, yeah, no, because look. And I have to send her links on how to get your mortgage deferred. So don't pressure us to make rent when we're not working.
Exactly.
So you can pay your mortgage. I sent her an email saying, look, our hardship is your hardship. So you take that information to your people and ease up on your end because, you know, we can pay this much for da-da-da, but we're not going to put it on. You know, we don't have medical insurance. We're going to need money. We need cash.
Yeah.
On hand. On hand. Sorry. No one's getting it. Every little tiny bit that we offer in has to fucking stay as much as possible.
Exactly. It's there's so much unknown. Like, you know,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of stuff happening that you have no control over. Like my grief counselor died. You know,
What's that?
My-
What? Say that again?
my grief counselor died.
Your grief counselor died.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I don't know how to feel.
Oh, God.
I know. But that's this. I bet right now you have the longest hair that you've had in maybe
Oh, God.
20
Dude,
years.
I still shave it underneath, but I have the cutest fucking ponytail right now. You would die. It's so fucking jaunty.
Oh, I bet it's it's just self-care. I keep my part of the reason why my fiance loves this show is it keeps me clean shaven.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's like, what leggings will I wear today? Oh, I know, the same ones.
Oh, definitely. I have this rotation of underwear. It's like as soon as I get to this one pair, I know it's time to do laundry. It's clockwork.
I know, see, it's keeping us fucking ordered in-house. You're keeping your house in order, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So I've been making these herbal teas like a freaking Appalachian Mountain witch.
Wow. What kind of teas? Like.
Well, I'll tell you, some of the herbs that I use, and I'll just name them off here. Chaparral. Chaparral contains powerful antioxidants, which supposedly will detox the lungs. And I love the TV show The High Chaparral. So I'm really excited every time I have a chance, to put a little pinch of chaparral in my brew. Sage. Sage is really great for the respiratory system. Plantain, which is very good for lung irritation, cold and cough. Colt's foot. Colt's foot is a traditional Indian remedy for lungs, and it can be used in the form of a tea. It relieves asthma and coughs and bronchitis and purifies the bronchus and the lungs. And a favorite, licorice root. Now, licorice root contains antiviral and antibacterial properties. It's very excellent in preventing lung cancer. It's a root that serves as an expectorant and purifies tissue. Also, thyme oil, which is classified as a natural antibiotic. So all that shit's going into my tea. And sarsaparilla root, which is amazing. Oh, the bark, rather. Sarsaparilla bark, which is ancient and has been used by so many fucking witches in the woods. You would not even believe it.
Yeah.
Let me make you a poultice of sarsaparilla. I feel so witchy. I love it.
Oh, definitely. How about carrots?
Carrot?
Yeah, I mean, they're great for two things. They're great for eyesight. It really helps you see better. It's good for the nerves and the eyes. And also, it's also great for deep rectal itches.
Stop it. I prefer leek for my deep rectal itches. Thank you.
Carrots got the point. Leeks, they're more rounded.
I know.
So,
I know. It uses. It actually comes into contact with more nerve endings.
I think it's different for guys and girls down there. It's like, when I get my carrots, like relax your muscles, breathe in and out. It's
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's more of a surprise for me. It's like, ooh,
Do you leave the green leafy matter at the end of the carrot, or do you trim it right off?
oh, you gotta leave it, otherwise, you gotta. Half the fun is pulling it out.
True, 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 true. You know what else I really like using, especially in the summertime, is rhubarb.
Oh, definitely. You know, it,
Yeah.
you gotta understand. I'm from Wisconsin, and rhubarb. If if your dessert doesn't have rhubarb, then you're kicked out. That's it. You're disowned.
I know. Who doesn't want a dessert that hasn't been up someone's ass at one point?
Exactly. Rhubarb. It's one of those things. It's acceptable to like bringing rhubarb to someone's house when you visit is like wearing socks. You it's just so common that
Yeah. But
it,
a lot of people don't know that there was a fourth wise man who brought the baby Jesus rhubarb.
yeah, and he was from Wisconsin. That rhubarb is rhubarb is such a staple in Wisconsin. It's unbelievable. Like Wisconsin's famous for cheese, beer, rhubarb, and the Packers in that order.
Do you say it though, like rhubarb,
Well, everybody knows a barb, so it's like, hey, barb.
rhubarb, barb?
Yeah, just bring the barb over. Yeah,
Bring the barb.
yeah,
Bring your own barb.
yeah. It's a BYO barb. Yeah. So, rounding third, coming home. What are some plans that you got after this quarantine, whenever it lifts? What are some things you want to get done?
Oh, gee, that's a good question. Uh, hmm.
I, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have anything like on a to-do list. It's mainly just I miss being able to just, hey, let's go for a beer and pop into Daryl's or pop into Tim's or pop into the Cozy Nut or, pop into the Baranoff. Well, you don't just pop into the Baranoff unless you don't want to ever pop out again.
yeah.
Things like that. Oh, maybe we should do karaoke. In fact, me and my daughter and my husband did fire pit karaoke the other night with our phones. And that got the itch out.
Oh, for sure. I tried doing karaoke here, but it's like there's only so many YouTube versions, and uh, I can only do Rasputin by Boney M so many times.
How many times?
Three.
That's too many.
Yeah. It's,
That's such a funny and weird song.
it, for my show Piggyback. Did you ever do Piggyback? I know I invited you. Think you
Oh, let me think.
I
Did
think
I?
you yes, you did. You absolutely did. I know that.
Was
Uh,
that in that theater in the Pike Place Market?
yes.
Yes, I did do that.
Yes. Well, for I think from run number 8 to the end is I used the opening drumming of Rasputin for the opening song.
Ah, hmm.
So,
Yeah, that was your entrance music.
yep, and
Love it.
I mean, I try to do karaoke here, but it's like there's only 6 songs that sound good on, and like the rest are just too complicated, and 3 of them are
Well,
Prince.
here's the thing that you can do. You can learn a new song every week, practice it, print out the lyrics, practice with the thing, and then do the karaoke version. And, by the end of this thing, you will have had 400 surefire hit karaoke tunes under your belt.
Well, the problem isn't the songs or the lyrics. It's just I got a voice that's just so monotone. That's why I like doing Prince songs, just 'cause that he doesn't really sing. So,
Yeah.
but But I don't know. I was thinking of doing like Jessica by the Allman Brothers, or Keep on Rolling. Uh,
That'd be good.
yeah, but
Yeah, see, learn some new songs. Broaden your song horizons.
yeah, I'll probably do. I might do a bunch of what are they called? Joy Division songs, just because I sound like that guy in real life.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Uh-huh. Or how about something like Bauhaus?
Yeah, I'll do Bauhaus. I mean,
Yeah.
I know half the band already. Might as well.
You do? Which half?
The good-looking half.
Peter Murphy poured me champagne backstage once.
Yeah, these I met them. They're all nice guys. You know, I don't have any relationship with them, but one day I was in what do you call it? Georgetown bar, 9 Pound Hammer, and my buddy Ben, not to drop any names, but Ben happened to be the bassist for Soundgarden. Uh, he said, "Hey Seth, these are my buddies. They're in the band Bauhaus." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Let's drink and have a good time," and we did.
Fantastic.
And,
When was this? What year?
oh, this had to be 2008, 2009.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember it. At my Georgetown days, it all runs together.
I love goddamn Georgetown.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I heard starting to feel the Seattle rent spike.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, well, all that shit's going to end, I think. I think this, it will be like the great leveler in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Well, as long as the disease doesn't touch anybody with the last name Mormonhoven, I'm happy.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
I hear that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up there, Kathy. Always great getting back in touch with you. You could count me as your biggest fan. I'm gonna figure out the names of all your songs. That way, I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
be put in an awkward situation that I put myself in. And you're
Because you
wonderful.
lied.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling. And you take care of yourself, and we will cross paths soon, I'm sure.
I look forward to it. Take care, Kathy.
Okay, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye.